Welcome to the Talking Beards podcast, an entertainment news show all about the world of facial hair. You can catch the show live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern by going to talkingbeards.com. While you're at the website, you can check out all the other cool things that we do. We cover the latest news going on in the beard and mustache world, from competitions, contests, fundraisers, and all the charity work. We also have special guests each week talking about what they're doing to make a difference in the facial hair world. We also do trivia each week with really great prizes, compliments of Honest Amish. So make sure you tune in every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. at talkingbeards.com. Now let's get on with the show.
Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to an exciting new episode of Talking Beards. This is going to be episode number 137, and this will be episode number 214 of the podcast. Tonight, we have world-renowned photographer of the beards, Mr. Greg Anderson, on the show tonight. We've got some breaking news from Montreal.
Dude, there is so much breaking news on the show tonight. 900
competitions to go over, all the ramen noodles. I don't know. Like, we've got all kinds of stuff, and let's get started, shall we? I'm Aaron D. Johnston. We are live everywhere, and I just noticed that we're not on Twitter. I was super excited to say, oh, we're on Twitter again tonight, but it didn't work.
Are you sure? It's got a green check mark against it.
So maybe we just don't get feedback for how many people are on Twitter because it's not over there on the left. So
it says you are live.
We're live on Twitter tonight. So if you're watching us on Twitter, let us know and see if it shows up in the chat. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's a hot new thing. So we used to stream over on Twitter using Periscope, but we're streaming on Twitter utilizing Twitter. So we're Twitter live. So we're probably in like 1 million homes tonight, really. So this is probably our greatest episode of all time. Anyway, yeah, I've already said it. I'm Aaron D. Johnston, and go ahead.
And I am Scott Sikora. You can find us over at talkingbeards.com. There's so much great stuff over there for you guys to check out. There's some merch for you guys if you want to check out. We got some really cool stuff over at Teespring. But one other thing that we want you to go check out is honestamish.com. Now, this is all fixed. Now, we had a little hiccup that we ran into last week. But if you go over to honestamish.com and you start entering all your stuff in there, when you're checking out, make sure you put in Talking Beards in the promo code and you will save 15%. So like we suggested last week, if you want to order 100 bars of soap, you could go in and do it 100 different promo codes and you'll get it. But apparently it was only working one time and now it's all fixed. So,
but breaking news, you can order 100 different orders and it works now. So it's not a one-time use promo code. It's 1 million times used promo code. So
do you know who's glad to be here? Kevin Henderson.
Remember his brother Harry?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Riding that car and he had to push his head up in the station wagon.
I know.
I remember that.
It was so funny.
So, Scott Sikora, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I am getting ready for the big moving sale. So we've been cleaning my house out. Going to have a big sale this week starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm selling pretty much everything. So if you
selling everything, 123 Main Street, Chardon, Ohio.
Yeah, what am I not selling? I'm not selling this bag of rubber bands.
Why not? What if someone offered you like $20 for that bag of rubber bands? Would you sell it?
I'd say no, 25. You can use promo code Talking Beards to get it for $20 though.
Oh my gosh. Beard Law says he wants some used Scott stuff. So
it's collector's items, man.
It is collector's items.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Douglas Cameron's here. Look at howdy.
Don't sell Nico.
Oh, I'm not going to sell Nico.
Oh my gosh. Did you know that he's my father?
No.
Did you know that? Yeah. Douglas Cameron birthed me. He created me from his loins. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, we told some people that at a competition and they believed us. Yeah, I mean, because it's true, obviously. Oh my gosh, there's a long post here. Read this, Scott. I don't know.
All right, it says, are you going to put it up there?
Yeah.
It says, Hey guys, love to hear you every chance. Good to see them beards doing well. If possible, I've gone from beards to bods. Give me a shout out in the chance if you could share. Please share legendarydadbod.com/2021/John dash PULS.
Well, thanks, John Pools.
That might be the best post we've gotten like this year.
It was definitely the longest we've gotten this whole episode for sure.
Oh my God,
For
it's so
sure.
good. But the thing is we have so many. I mean, I'm so excited about this episode because I'm excited to have Greg on, number one. Like, he's like one of my favorite dudes out there, and I always love being able to like run into him out on the warpath out there.
You run it. That's not very nice. Like,
Boom.
you should never crash into Greg. Like,
Aaron,
he has to
shut your
take
face.
pictures and stuff, and
I'm
like
talking.
you can't be like, "Oh, look at me, I'm pushing Greg down." Like, don't be rude, Scott.
Stop it. But anyway, but like you had led to at the beginning of the show, we have so much stuff going on, and like one of the things, just to kind of give everyone a little heads up of one of the reasons why I wanted to have Greg on tonight was because of these Joe Rogan posts that have been going out over the past month, and there's people in the bearding community who are either like one side or the other side, where it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. So I wanted to have Greg on to kind of talk to him about like the whole side of, ownership of pictures and how people use these pictures for their own whatever. But so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to have Greg on. But anyways, we have tons of information about all these like great competitions coming up and stuff like that. But also Aaron's got some little bit of possible.
Yeah, you're supposed to ask me what I've been up to.
Yeah, and that's what I was leading into was, Aaron, I know what you've been up to.
No, you don't.
Oh, you've been up to what, 4'2"?
I'm up to 4'2". So, yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. So I made a little post. I was going back and forth if I was even going to talk about this or how I was really going to approach the whole thing. I made a vague book post. Oh, now you're going to make me big. I made a vague book post the other day, and I don't know. I got a good bit of feedback, and it wasn't really. It was kind of, I don't know. I expected it, but I didn't. People were texting me and calling me, and it got kind of wild there for a second. So I've been in my career field for 20 years now, and I'm essentially going to retire. So I put in my 2-week notice yesterday. So that was kind of one of the things that I was keeping it off of social media so I could talk to my boss and let him know the whole thing. But yeah, I put in my 2-week notice this morning, and my last day at Plant Vogel will be October 8th. And I think that's the right date. I don't remember. It'll be that Friday. And then October 18th, I will start my new career, and I will be working for Honest Amish full time as the director of marketing. So Natalie and I are going to kind of split our time between Greenville, Pennsylvania, Aiken, South Carolina, and essentially the road. So we are going to do more competitions than ever. I'd like to do 40 competitions next year. That is my goal, my personal goal to myself. So we'll see how it works out, and we'll see if there's 40 competitions that we could do. But yeah, I'm gonna go out there and support all the community and everybody I possibly can, and do what I can to make everything a little bit better, and just do my part to keep this community together and make it stronger. And Honest Amish appreciated everything I was doing, from going to the competitions and doing all my stuff with nationals and all that stuff, and was like, well, let's just bring you on board full time and let's just see what happens. So it's super scary, kind of quitting my career I've been doing for 20 years. And but yeah, we're gonna go for it, and I don't know.
I'm gonna say though that with as close as Aaron and I are, and being like pretty much there through this whole entire journey with him and all the things that have been happening over the past few months with all this stuff developing and just like kind of, being like other than Natalie and myself and maybe a couple other people knowing what's been going on with him, it's been dude, I'm so excited for him. Like it's like I wanted to cry when he told me about all this stuff. Dude, seriously, like
I don't know. It's just been crazy. But and I've had to keep it all essentially to myself. I mean, I've told a few people, but I mean, for the most part, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I kept saying the other night, like, I just felt like I won the lottery with this whole thing. Like I get to go do beer competitions as a career now. I mean, there's going to be a lot more to it, but from marketing side and, advertising and whatnot, but I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited, nervous, and all that good stuff all at the same time.
But just as a reminder to everyone, don't forget, use promo code Talking Beards.
With that being said, use promo code Talking Beards at honestamish.com. Buy a hat. We have 1,000 of them, and I'm not kidding. Clean up our stock room of these hats. Thank you.
No, but and just as in talking with Aaron about everything that's happened over the past few weeks, there's going to be so much awesome stuff that's going to be happening over the next, months and whatever. That
Chris Odom's here.
Way!
Dang, what's up, Chris Odom?
But dude, there's going to be so much excitement going on with all of this.
I'm already excited. Like,
yeah, dude, I am too. Like,
Natalie told me to swallow my roll today because I was already trying to do too much, and I'm not even officially started my job yet. She's like, just stop.
I know. But that's been the thing. It's like literally like his first day that he was like talking with me. It's like he already like introduced all this stuff, and it was just.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go now. But I put him on 2-week notice. I'm gonna work it out, and luckily I get to work all weekend, so that's pretty good. I get to work like 12 straight days, and then I quit.
This is great.
Anyway,
but
yeah, that's my vague book of the week.
But yeah, so that's super exciting news. But let's get our guest in here. I mean, like we said, he's like one of the most premier photographer. I mean, he's been shooting photography for over, I think, 75 years all across the country. He's been featured in 1 year, pardon me. He's correcting me.
No, he's saying he's number one.
Oh, he is number one.
He is number one. So yeah, without further ado, Matt McClear made us this super awesome video. So, Greg Anderson, you get an intro video. This is a first time on Talking Beards, that our guest gets their own intro video. Here we go, Greg. Live from Las Vegas is Greg Anderson.
Thank you, Greg Anderson.
I love the intro. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. What's up, buddy? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. I got to congratulate you, though.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's a huge step right there. I didn't know. You didn't even let on in the conversation we had. So
I didn't know until about 7:56 if I was going to say anything or not. Oh, okay. I was very indifferent about bringing it up, but it's out there now.
Now that it's official, yeah. Congrats.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Huge step.
Yeah.
So for those of you who aren't aware of our guest tonight, as you saw in the intro video that Matt made for us, Greg Anderson was the photographer at the 2021 National Beard Mustache Championships in Scranton, Pennsylvania, presented by who, Aaron?
Honest Amish.
Don't forget
Look at that.
promo code Talking Beards. But so Greg's been involved in the bearding community for how many years would you say you've been doing beard photography?
Since 2012, but 2013 was actually my first competition in New Orleans.
Now, how did this is the big question to me. How did you end up getting involved? Like, who called you? Did someone call me like, hey, Greg Anderson, we want you to be taking pictures? Like, how does that whole thing fall into place?
No, actually, so I had a studio in Las Vegas in 2011 through about 2019. And so what happened was a couple of my friends were bearded guys, and I was like, I got to get some more interesting, subject matter in front of my camera. And so I started photographing them. And then what happened was I saw a newspaper article about the 2012, I don't know if it was an international, a world competition, or if it was just a nationals, but it was in Las Vegas. And of course, seeing the news story means that it's already over, right? So I started digging as soon as I saw the story, doing some research, and I found the producer of the event, Eric, and gave him a call. And he told me that everybody who was at the competition had probably, everybody had disbanded and probably gone out, to whatever bar they were going to drink the night away, and that essentially I was welcome to join next year in New Orleans. So I put it on the calendar and kind of forgot about it for a couple of months, and just sort of every now and then kind of looked at it and thought about it a little bit. And then when it came time to go, when it came time to the event happened, I was like, all right, screw it, I'm going down there. And so I booked myself and my assistant airline travel, hotel rooms down in New Orleans, which was not cheap, but kind of saw it as an investment in my portfolio. So went down there and knocked it out, and had probably the best time I had ever had on a shoot to that point. So
that's because you were taking pictures of beards.
I know, man. It's so much fun. And so the reason that keeps me coming back is, I've met people on that shoot that still come to, or on that competition, I should say, that still come to competitions now that I've known for 8-9 years, however long. And so, it's pretty amazing.
Before that, what were you primarily taking pictures of?
So I was getting my legs under me in Vegas because I grew up here, but I moved away for a long time. And so I had come back in 05, 06, and then struggled a little bit to kind of find my niche as far as like what I wanted to photograph. And so, like I said, I was trying to get more interesting material in front of me. And still kind of at 2012, I was still kind of coming back from, the financial crisis and all that shit, where the economy took a hit and everything completely went away. And so I was kind of rebranding myself at that point. And so this thing actually helped to launch the next, chapter of my career, actually, as a portraitist. And so, tons of great material. Obviously that shoot happened kind of at a perfect time, because I released it like I did, all the subsequent shoots on Facebook, so that everybody could just take their picture down and do whatever they want, share it, whatever. And Facebook at that time didn't have such strict, guidelines as far as advertising. Things could actually go sort of organically viral, right? So that competition essentially went all over the world, and I didn't have to pay anything for the reach. And so, and I think a year or two after that, they changed it, but, and it was just for the maybe 2 or 3 months after that, I was waking up every day to emails from international publications, or you guys were, I don't know if you were both there. Were you guys at New Orleans?
I don't. Neither one of us were in New Orleans. I don't think I crossed paths with you until, I guess, Worlds.
That's the same time I did too.
Okay. Yeah. So it essentially, it made the rounds.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
absolutely.
guys saw it at that point or not, but it was on all the talk shows and morning news shows and GQ and all, it just had reach that I never imagined. So
is that where you took the world famous Paul Roof's picture that kind of went viral?
It is. Yeah. Which kind of ties into what you were talking about earlier with the Joe Rogan and sort of appropriation and all of that. So
that picture of Paul Roof, it ended up on a beer can in Charleston for Holy City Brewing. And that kind of led into him losing his job and stuff. So that had a whole mind of its own, and his story went viral all over the world because of his publicly firing for being on a beer can from a Christian college or whatever. And that got you, at least your picture went everywhere that you took. But
that also made me pretty nervous because I didn't know if I was liable for him getting fired at that point, or Paul and I had a lot of conversations in that time frame. And so the first thing that happened is I saw the picture and, hey, now my photo is on a can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't ask me to do that.
That's weird that they put, on a can that was what, 2014 15 when it started. It's still out there. They still make that beer and it's very popular.
Right.
And they didn't reach out to you at all. They
didn't reach out to me beforehand. Yeah, they I think they assumed because they stylized the photo, they had it sort of in a, like a rendering or a,
mm-hmm. They turned it to like a cartoon, so it wasn't the exact picture.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was based on, it was obviously my shot.
Obviously.
So I reached out to them and said, hey, this is my shot. You guys, you put it on cans, and I don't know what the circulation is. You guys didn't ask permission. I don't know if Paul gave you guys permission. It turns out he has a relationship with people at the brewery.
Right.
And so I had several conversations with people from the brewery and Paul himself, and we came to an agreement, and, they sent me some nice merch and a few 6-packs, and we called it even. And so, and they're still, and then I see, kind of the legs it had as far as being in.
Still going. And they do renderings of the rendering now. They do like strawberry variations, and I think there was like a tequila variation, and they put like a sombrero on it, and it's been around, and now they've redone it. Now the image is even bigger, and
and that's cool. I mean, at a certain point, I gave them permission, it was after the fact, but yeah, go ahead and do what you will. And I like Paul, great guy.
Yeah.
And so, he's not around very much anymore. I haven't seen him at any of the competitions in quite a while. I kind of keep up with him a little bit here on Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, so he's all about beer and barbecue now. And
beer and barbecue. I support both of those things. So we're of the same mind.
All right. So now this leads us up into the reason why I really wanted to have you on the show was now talking about the pictures you've taken and how people will take them, make their own derivative of it, and put it out there. Now I'm going to pull the pictures up here.
Yeah.
Now we have Joe Rogan, which this was funny as shit when the first one on the right is Aaron, and he took for his own advertisement for one of his one of his comedy events. He used a picture of Aaron, and he basically put his face on it a little bit, and Aaron totally loved it, thought it was great and everything. And then a couple weeks ago or last week, he did it again, but he used a picture of Arnie, and he put his face on it, and Arnie was really upset. And as in following a lot of what was going on with the pictures, like everyone's like, you should sue him. He can't use your picture without your rights and blah, 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 blah. So how does all of that work? Like, who owns the picture? And like I said, when we're at these events and we have you guys taking pictures of us and stuff like that, we're signing, agreements and stuff that you're allowed to use our pictures and different things and all that stuff. Well, hopefully everyone signed them. I remember signing mine, but I mean, hopefully everyone's signing those and everything. But what is the purpose of us signing those? And, lead us into this whole realm of like who owns what, how we're allowed to use it. Like you say, you back in the day, Facebook would let you just post those on there and everyone would take the pictures, use them as their profile pictures, and it would just get humongous reach.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want your picture out there. You want everyone to see your work. I mean, that's your art. So, but I know I'm throwing a lot out right now, but let's take a step back.
Let him answer the first question.
Yeah.
Let me kind of throw a little bit at you here. So I actually have never made anybody sign a usage license or agreement or anything like that. My goal with this whole project was to, like I said earlier, get a new portfolio section for myself, rebrand myself as a portraitist. I give the images out to everybody. As you guys know, everybody involved is happy. The line being crossed regularly is that people use photos that they take down like that to then promote something to sell and are getting like a direct monetary gain from it. Nobody has signed like the Joe Rogan stuff or the Paul Roof thing. Like, I didn't make him sign an agreement, and that's different because that was him or, his relationship with the company and not mine. So couldn't really come after me. But the Joe Rogan thing, he is actually promoting his show, right? He's promoting his comedy tour or whatever. He's taking images that don't belong to him, that he doesn't have the copyright to. They're not his intellectual property. And he's then photoshopping them with his face on it. And I notice he puts them in his stories, but not on his actual page, right? So they're there and they're gone. And so I don't know if that's strategic or if that's just how he promotes things. I don't know. But there are certain cases that set precedent, like the Shepard Fairey Barack Obama campaign poster, like way back in the day, that got settled sort of with a non-disclosure agreement, and nobody really knows what he had to pay to. There was an AP photographer, I should give a little backstory, who shot a photo of Barack Obama. Shepard Fairey then went and made a poster out of it, and that was the big, sort of the 3-color or 3-tone poster with hope underneath it, that sold, how many ever copies or whatever. And so he benefited off that. It was gauged off an AP photographer's photo of Barack Obama, and they settled out of court for some undisclosed
$1 trillion
amount that could be greater or less than $1 trillion.
Whoa, greater and less than. We know all about that.
Yeah.
I attempted to rein things in after that first competition in 2013 in New Orleans, because so many things were being used, so many things were being appropriated in certain ways, and I just sort of was on a mission to track it all down, and they're not going to use my photo without permission, and it took up the better part of my day for a long time, for months, and trying to figure out, what my rights were, who took what, if they owed me something, what is actually, within my rights. Like, I clicked the camera, that makes it my intellectual property. I created that. It did not exist before I pushed that button. Mm-hmm. Anything I shoot is my intellectual property. You guys being in front of my camera are essentially models, right? And would need to then, there you go. Yeah. And would need to then give consent if something was being used to sell something else, sell a product or a service, or, for any sort of financial gain. Like, so if I go and sell your photo to something and you're, on an advertisement and you didn't agree to it, then there's some money that needs to be paid. There's some liability there. It gets really gray area when you start talking about people photoshopping their face into somebody else's, it's like, what is or what is not your likeness, right? Is
Right.
Joe Rogan's face with your beard, is that your likeness? Is somebody going to look at that and go, hey, that's Aaron's beard or that's Scott's beard? Are they now entitled to money? Who knows? I mean,
So I think a lot of
years fighting that out in court.
I think a lot of the pictures that he uses are on the Reface app. Did you know that? So
Yeah.
there's a ton of your pictures on the Reface app.
That I did not know.
The beard,
Uh-oh.
like a lot of the beard pictures are on there.
Breaking news.
And I know that picture of me is on there, and I know that picture of Arnie is on there. So I assume that's where they're coming from. I don't know. I mean, he may be, photoshopping them himself or whatever, but those two pictures for sure are on the Reface app. So he may just be playing with the Reface app. And so just so you know, there are pictures. Your pictures are on the Reface app. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I'll check that out. Maybe I can get into like a free Joe Rogan show when he comes through Vegas. I don't know.
There you go. Hey, since you're using my beard pictures,
you should come. Yeah, you're entitled as well. So.
Yeah, so there you go. We're all getting entitled. So that's a lot of information about all that. So your personal feelings, does it hurt your feelings, or do you think it's cool when Joe Rogan uses your pictures?
It's mixed, right? Because it's not egregious use of my work. It's not him taking my shot and using it directly for something else. So it's him photoshopping his face into it, and I don't know really how I feel about it. I guess it doesn't get me anything, right? It's not exposure for my work. I mean, just in our community it is, because people know you, they can recognize the original photo and you put it up or whatever, and then they know kind of the story behind it. But outside of that, yeah, I don't know. Mixed feelings, I guess. So
I understand that. It'd be different if it was like, this is a Greg Anderson photo.
Or throw a little credit down below, like original photo by Greg Anderson.
But he probably don't even know where it even came from.
He probably doesn't.
It's not like I don't think he's like being malicious about it. It's just, hey, here's this, really to most people in the world, people with big beards and freestyle beards are funny looking. So that's all he's really doing.
Yeah,
he's like, these guys got crazy beards. I'm gonna put my face on it.
And it's probably his marketing department too.
Yeah, he don't
Joe
know
Rogan has nothing to do with it at all.
He's never even seen those pictures.
Yeah, he doesn't post anything. They probably post all of his promotion.
Yep. Yeah, probably.
How do you feel about it, Aaron?
I thought it was cool, man. I was, obviously it was not my face, but I woke up from, sleeping, and I work nights, so my schedule's all messed up. So I woke up at like 2 p.m, and I had like 30 text messages and Facebook messages and stuff. I was like, holy crap, what is going on? And it was just all these screenshots. I was like, well, apparently a lot of my friends look at Joe Rogan's story, and they would just screenshot after screenshot of this and was like, are you going on Joe Rogan? And then, no, I'm not. Like, he don't even know I exist in the world. But I thought it was cool. I just, it was up there for a day. I screenshot it, put it on my Instagram. It was a cool little story and, my whole life journey, and, it's over. But I thought it was cool. That was about as far as I thought about it. I wasn't trying to get anything out of it or, go sue him or do anything. I was just, that's pretty neat. And that was pretty much it.
The majority of the time, chasing stuff like that down is just not worth your time.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything out of it, especially if he's pulling it off of an app. You know what I mean? Like, that's where they're coming from.
Yeah, and it's going to disappear. Like,
he's not selling the picture, so I don't know. I thought it was cool. That was about all I felt about it. What about you, Scott? When Joe Rogan used your picture, how did you feel?
Well, when he does do it, because I should probably be the next in line for this one, just because my beard's so glorious. How many national championships have you won, Aaron?
Anyway, so what do you have anything else going on, Greg Anderson? Any cool?
I got a lot of stuff going on. So the day I got back, or the day after I got back from the competition in Scranton, I went straight to a Las Vegas Raiders game.
Awesome.
And we beat.
How close do you live to the stadium? Is that like, are you like in town, or do you have to like drive and stuff to get to it?
No, it's like 15 minutes away from my house. So
Dang.
It's awesome. And I got season tickets, so I'm there. I was just there again this weekend, and I've been a huge Raiders fan since I was like 8. And so they ended up moving into my town. And so I'm like, I got to get tickets. Anyway, other than that, work's kind of been blowing up. Been doing a bunch of, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, he was answering the question. Brett Maxfield says, how many worlds do you have, Scoot?
I only need one world. I live on this world.
I think he was talking about world championship titles.
Oh, I wouldn't know. Probably all of them.
Hey, but still, like my one worlds, I've still beat more people than you have in both of your national titles combined. Just,
Aaron, why don't you shut your face? Anyway. This is not about us. It's about
sorry.
Greg right now.
I feel like I'm at a tennis match.
Welcome to Tennis with Aaron and Scott.
I'll just come on here and banter with you guys if you want.
There's a show on Thursday nights called Bantering Beards that
I could join.
If you ever want to be a part of, you could definitely be a part of that show. It's a lot of fun. So Sean Glander, Natalie, and Corey kind of put it together, and they bring on a few random people and just absolutely the most random ass topics. Like it'll be like, which way does the toilet paper go? Or what's better, beard oil or beard balm? Or I don't know.
Who's better, Aaron or Scott? And
exactly.
Scott always wins.
Right, always. But it's really like, do you think nuclear power is the wave of the future or whatever? I don't know. It's just like
pretty random.
It's completely random questions. It's not always just beard related. But anyway, you have projects going on. Sorry we derailed that.
I do. I have tons of projects going on. Just my bread and butter is like advertising work, right? So I'm in that world. Have 4 or 5 projects going on at any one time. I'm rebranding downtown Las Vegas. If you guys have been there, down by Fremont Street.
Awesome.
For the city of Las Vegas and the Downtown Alliance, I've been doing this like 2-month-long project. So that's keeping me busy shooting business owners in their businesses, just promoting. And they gave me free reign to kind of do whatever I want. So I'm promoting all of the people that I know and love down in downtown Las Vegas, which is the real Las Vegas for locals, right? You get the Strip, tourist oriented. It's fun to go to once in a while, whatever. But locals go to the downtown area more than the Strip. So been doing that. Tons of other stuff. I got a couple of kids keeping me busy and just trying to keep up with that. So, and another project I got going is trying to figure out how to make a gallery in the metaverse of a lot of the beard photos from the last 8 or 9 years. And the metaverse specifically, there's a couple different ones. One of them is called Crypto Voxels. One of them is called Decentraland, and there's the Sandbox. But in Decentraland, I'm going to put up a digital gallery. And so if anybody's tech savvy out there, or if you're not, you can go to Decentraland. I think it's decentraland.io. And you can go look around, but there's tons of stuff. It's a sort of a, digital version of a physical reality. So you go in there, you could go in when I build it. This is kind of on the front burner at this point, since I'm wrapping up a few projects. I'm going to try to get it together, and I'll be sure to put out links when it's up. So if anybody wants to go in there and check it out, I'm not exactly sure how big or extensive it's going to be, but there'll be a few things in there. I don't know. So like what we were talking about earlier, these images will be of people that I've photographed at the beard competitions. Is that the same scenario if I sell an NFT of a beard photo of someone? Do I then owe royalties to the model, you guys? Mm-hmm. And so that's something I have to do research on as well before that project moves forward. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm in that world where I'm trying to dip in. I don't have all of the technical knowledge yet, but it's an interesting place to be. There's a lot of corporations and stuff buying up pieces of digital property in this metaverse. And so that's how they are advertising themselves. And I'm linked into the advertising world. So I see it from that end and go, okay, that's the sort of way things are going. And so it's a fun new sort of direction to think in as well.
It's the future.
It's the future.
Well, I will sign any NFT agreement, and you can just use mine all you want.
Okay. Well,
you don't owe me. You and Joe Rogan don't owe me anything.
In fact, we'll pay you to take pictures of us.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I heard there's a couple of things coming up, and you guys, Aaron, sounds like you're going to be at quite a few events. So if that brings you to the West Coast, or I've heard of Come and Shave It down in Austin coming up pretty soon. I haven't seen any dates for that or anything.
I think it's February 19th.
February 19th?
I do believe that is the correct date. And I know there's a couple things cooking. I know that an hour from Las Vegas, there's a competition coming up. I think it's still kind of in the works. So I don't know if I can announce anything, but I think it's on the 26th. So maybe you could reach out to Patrick Dawson and talk to him. He's in Las Vegas. I don't know if you knew that. He's in Vegas now.
I'll look him up.
If you don't know who he is, he's the guy that beat Aaron.
He's the guy that always beats me, except for at Worlds. But he started a beer club out there in Vegas, and he's been out there for a few months now, maybe a year now. But he's out there, and he's got a giant ass goatee, and he's out and about. So maybe y'all can.
Hey, there he shows up.
There you go.
Yes, sir. I'll be there. Patrick, reach out. I'd love to, especially the local ones or any of the drivable ones, Southern California, LA, Phoenix, any of that shit. I'd love to go to. So,
but we'll anytime there's one out there, we're going to try to get out there because I don't want to just stay East Coast. I need to spread the wealth. So we're going to be going to the West Coast, Midwest and stuff. And I know we'll be going to England in August as long as COVID lets us. And
that's one I have that kind of on the horizon.
You got to come with us.
There were a few people talking about England. It's in rugby, right?
It is in rugby. Yeah.
People talking about that, and I need to get out there. And I've never actually been to England, and to go there, maybe it'll be a stripped down scenario where I couldn't do a whole studio thing. But
you can wear clothes.
Me and my camera. Oh, yeah, okay.
You don't have to get stripped down. This isn't Las Vegas. It's England. You don't have to strip.
Are there
poles? A little bit more proper over there.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's poles everywhere. You can make anything work.
So if I was stripped down just with a bow tie, is that proper?
Perfect. Yeah, they love that sort of thing over there.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Matson says, all the cool kids are going to rugby.
Hey.
So hopefully it happens this year. And I don't know if you know this, but it's Honest Amish presents the British Nationals.
That's good to know. And is there any sort of a discount or promo code if I wanted to go to buy some product?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to honestamish.com and use Talk Beer's promo code. And if there's something on there, then, there you go.
But you're not going to be able to use that promo code to get your tickets for the British Nationals.
You can try. It might work.
Delta Airlines honor that.
Delta Airlines promo code Talking Beards and just see what happens. I don't know. Maybe it'll work.
Sounds good.
Well, Greg.
All right. One last thing real quick, though, before we get you off. We were talking about right behind you on your wall. You have this really great picture.
Yeah.
It's not of Scott and Aaron, but we'll let it slide this time. So next time we have you on the show, there better be a 30 by 40 foot picture of Aaron and Scott on your wall in your office. But
we can make it happen.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this picture and kind of pan your camera a little bit so people can see it too.
You guys see in the same frame I am? Whoop,
Yep.
Wrong way. It's in
so
reverse.
That's right over your bed that you have a picture of MJ.
Right over my bed, exactly. Actually, over the couch in my office, there was a couple years back, there is a photography convention in Las Vegas called the Wedding and Portrait Photographers International competition or convention. And somebody reached out at that point, somebody who does prints on aluminum, and proposed that if I let them use an image, that they would give me the photo afterwards. And so they chose MJ. I let them use it. and they gave it to me, and there it is. So I hung it up for you guys to see. And yeah, it is an awesome shot. I have, I used to have a gallery I had it for 2 years. I gave it up about 3 months ago, actually. And so I have probably 30 photographs from all through the years at competitions that I printed, maybe 11 by 14 or a little larger, and hung on the wall. And it was a pretty sweet place to work, surrounded by, all of the beard portraits and stuff. But I've taken them down. I'm looking for a home for them. So I'll make sure you guys will probably see them on social media, but looking for a gallery to kind of rotate that stuff in there. Everything's still, printed and framed. And so,
that'd be awesome. Especially if there's like a competition coming up an hour outside of Vegas, and you got a thing, then we can be like, hey, everybody go to Greg's gallery, and then boom.
Kind of link onto that and do some photos out there, come back, have some beers, look at the work.
I like this.
So
This is great.
Let's make it happen, Greg.
And then there's a bunch of cameras from 1906 or 1914 all the way to 2010.
Pinhole cameras.
I'm kind of a collector. I should show you guys my collection at some point, but I've got a ton of old film cameras in large format, medium format, just tons of that stuff. It's all boxed up because it was in my old office. So
see, I'm super interested in that. Aaron doesn't care about cameras. He just wants them to be taking pictures of him.
Mm-hmm. That's the best part of the camera is when they're taking pictures of me.
Yeah, like being on the business end.
Oh yeah, the business end of the camera. That's right. Greg Anderson, thank you very much, my friend.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate your work. We appreciate everything you do for the community. Keep doing you. And if there's anything we can ever do to help you out in any shape, form, or fashion, do not be afraid to reach out.
Well, it's the most fun shoot that I have all year. I got to tell you, I can come there.
Not a bunch of doctors.
It's not a bunch of doctor portraits. I can come there, hang out, and drink beer while I photograph cool people, and it's a great time. So I appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you, and hopefully we'll get to see you again next year somewhere.
That's right, rugby,
baby,
or sooner.
Yes,
hopefully sooner.
And thank you so much for coming on. Like, I honestly, you are like one of my favorite guys out there. Like, I love talking to you. I love geeking out on photography and learning the ins and outs of it. I'm not into it as much as I used to be, but
why can't it be outs and ins, Scott?
It could be. I mean, the outs and ins of photography, but yeah, like I really love having you on, and you always have such great insight and stories about photography and just the beard scene and stuff like that, and all the cool things that you've done. So I really greatly appreciate you coming on tonight and talking about all the different things going on. And, we'll be sure to share it. Do you have a website?
Yeah. GregAndersonPhoto.com.
Great.
And mostly any social media usually goes Instagram, which I have not been super active on lately, but I'm about to drop a couple projects on there and some more beard photos and stuff. So _ Greg Anderson.
Oh my, you should really highlight that one picture you took of Aaron and I. That should be like one of your
Yeah.
Everybody's already said that was probably the best picture you took all weekend, except for all the flash pictures, obviously. But
Well, and the one where your beard is eating Natalie, that was pretty cool.
you told me to get closer, so we got closer.
Good times.
All right, Greg, you have a great night, sir, and we will see you soon.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.
Gosh, they're great Anderson. He's like the best dude in the world.
Pretty much. And he's handsome too.
Yeah, he is. He should be getting his picture taken.
That's what I don't. We should have talked about that. It's like, doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he not in front of the camera? He should be the model.
He should be.
He should be.
But all right, so now let's jump in. So let's because we're running out of time here. We got like 10 minutes, but we have to get into the
talking beards, the competitions. Check out these competitions, y'all. So let's just dive right into this thing. We got some breaking news from the beard world. It's not what you think. I know this was kind of announced earlier. Monsters Ball competition 2021. It was canceled. So that was going to be October 30th, right? Yeah, October 30th was going to be their Halloween kind of competition there in Pittsburgh. Everybody thinks that this is just going to be an announcement about the cancellation. Kind of is, but it's also not. So, with that being said, the venue was the big holdup on this. They were going back and forth on, can you have it? Do you need your vaccine? Is the vaccine good enough? Now they're saying people need to get their a COVID test before they get there, and it was just turning into a whole thing. So they just pulled the plug on it. So with that being said, same weekend, it'll be October 29th and the 30th at the North County Brewing. I don't have an address or anything, but that's going to be Friday night and Saturday night in Pittsburgh still. Like I said, North County Brewing. Saturday night, they're going to do a costume contest, and they will also be doing bands on Friday and Saturday. So if you've already booked your hotel, you've already got travel plans to go to Monsters Ball, might not be a beard competition, might not be. But hey, you can still go hang out, and you don't have to necessarily show off your beard. Maybe we'll just make this a super ultra mega costume contest on Saturday night. So bring out your best costumes, and let's still have a party at Monsters Ball, even if it's not a beard competition party. We can still go have a good time, support charity, go get our skate decks and all that good stuff. So it's not 100% canceled. It's just like 75% canceled at this point.
Well, and plus
there'll be more to come on all that later. But yeah, I don't think that's been officially announced yet. So that was some real Talking Beards breaking news.
Yeah, and they have their raffle that they've been promoting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure the raffle will still be going on. It's going to be a beer competition essentially without the beer competition, unless they decide to have a beer competition. Yeah. But all this is kind of coming together today. They still, hey, they've already got the trophies. They've got all this stuff. Let's do something.
Yeah.
So they found them a venue that was going to be more accommodating, and there'll be more to come on that. So like I said, if you've already got hotel plans, maybe not cancel them yet.
All right. And then Darcy writes, are there any more competitions on the East Coast? We're going to be getting into that right here. So we're going to start really diving
right now. Let's go, Darcy. First up, we have the Big Whisker Revival 52, right? People using these ramen noodles are just super confusing.
VII 52.
Maybe it's 7. Anyway, it's in Newport, Kentucky. That's essentially Cincinnati. That's coming up October 9th. And if you have not been to this competition, it is one of the coolest venues out there. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. It's a super cool venue. I think it's like an old church, that they turned into a concert venue. It's amazing. Downtown Newport, right there by the levee. Apparently, you can't get hotels in Newport right now because the Reds are going to the playoffs or something.
Oh, my God.
It's Cincinnati. There's still hotels relatively close. Just the ones that are within walking distance are booked up. So there you go. I will be vending there, and Natalie D. Johnston will be judging. So we'll be there, Newport, on October 9th for the Cincinnati Beard Barons. Also coming up October 9th, this is a wild weekend. We've talked about this. People need to schedule better, but instead of having 4 on one weekend, we could spread out the wealth. So anyway, with that being said, this is Ocean City, I think, Maryland. This is Beards at the Beach 4. This is going to be considered the East Coast Championships. So we'll have that coming up same day, October 9th.
And that was online and in person.
So Natalie said this is online and in person. This is a duo of a competition.
Yeah. That's what it says right there. It says categories for both in person and online. So there's going to be $20 for charity, $5 for each additional category. But we'll have more information on this one.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one a little bit more. So, yeah, East Coast Championships, Ocean City, Maryland. Next up, we have Beards and Bands for Brantley benefit for BH3. This is Christine M. Algaretti's deal down there in Tampa, Florida, adjacent. That's also coming up October 9th. Like I said, busy day. But, yeah, Lithia, Florida.
Oh, come on.
We had more information, but it's gone.
I did, but it was going to the wrong one.
It's all good.
There it is.
You good? Whoop, there we go.
Yeah, so there's not much information about it quite yet, but come on, Christina, get some
I believe this is
information.
a Beard Mob Florida Just One kind of collaboration deal here, but there you go. Coming up October 9th. So if you're in the Tampa, Florida area and you don't want to travel to Cincinnati or Maryland, there's a competition right there in your back door. So also coming up October 9th. If you're in Texas, you don't have to travel very far either. Here we go at the Pit Stop Bar. It's Beardapalooza 2. This is Central Texas Beard Mustache Club. Yeah, here we go. Coming up.
Yes. Details on it. There's, let's see, 14 categories. Not once again, not a lot of information about it.
But it's happening.
It is. I mean, we'd give you more information. Chris Odom's back in Texas.
Nolanville. This is Nolanville, Texas. So yeah, it's right outside of Killeen. Super cool venue. It's all outside. It's really nice. I went there last November, I do believe. It's a FHL event. They'll be giving away Honest Amish to all first, second, and third. Talking Beards, sponsored Best in Show. It's going to be a good event. Yeah, that's what it says, FHL. So yeah, October 9th, you have tons of options. So next up, we have October 16th. There's people in Texas that are only 13 hours from Texas. That's super vague. Here we go. Coming up, Beardtoberfest, episode 1X.
That is that's 110.
110. Rise of Whiskerina. So I will also be vending at this event, and Natalie will be judging. This seems to be a common theme coming up here. So yeah, this is in Cape Beard. It's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's an amazing event put on by Cape Beard, and Mr. Douglas Cameron will be there live and in person.
And all funds are going to be donated to the Karen Chandler Trust, and there's going to be 14 categories. It seems to be 14, 15 categories seems to be about what every competition is having right now.
It's a good number, 14, 15. But yeah, this is coming up. It's a really good event. They have it every year. They do tons of good stuff up there in Fayetteville. We'll try
Star
to have
Wars theme too.
Yeah, it's Star Wars theme. The trophies are always Star Wars. It's a good event. It really is. And we'll try to have Doug or John Byer or someone on the show.
John Byer.
Hey, I'm John Byer. Thank you. And we'll have one of those guys on, and they'll talk all about the event coming up. So also coming up, if you are on the West Coast, see this is a good one. East Coast, West Coast. So you know anywhere in between, you can travel around. So this is Modesto Beard and Mustache Club. This is a coalition. My bad. It is Crystal Davis's club. Everybody has to take a shot. This is the Beards at the Ball, October 16th. Containment Brewing Company. Containment. I don't know words. Contentment. There we go.
Yeah.
Brewing Company in Modesto, California, adjacent.
Yeah, so competition starts at 3:30, registration from 2 to 3. Once again, probably about 14 categories. Obviously, they've listed a couple judges already.
My favorite judge is judge number 5, C. Less. It's his cousin, C. Moore.
Whoa.
See what I did there? That's pretty good. Oh, wow, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, this is a Modesto Beard Mustache Coalition's competition on the West Coast. So there you go. East Coast, West Coast competition on the 16th. Coming up, 10/23, October 23rd, we've got Tri-County Beard and Mustache Society. Yeah, this is right north of Indianapolis. Natalie and I will be at this one. Not judging, not vending, just hanging out, having a good time with some amazing people. This is a smaller event. We went a couple years ago, and they had at intermission, I think it was at intermission or at the end, was it the musical chairs competition where Natalie pushed people down to win. So you can come, and maybe we'll do the musical chairs thing again. Come and find out. It's a really good time. Melissa Crafton does a good job with it and her whole group. So go check it out. It's a fun time. And an amazing little town. So
Yeah, seventh annual, which they funds raised or to support the musical needs of local youth. I love that.
it always is. That's their charity. They raise money for the musical youth even all the time. They have their beard oil that they make as a club, and they go to events all over their little area, and they're great people. And this is a really, really good event. So I think everybody, if you're close, go check it out.
Yeah, tons and tons and tons of information about this event. I mean, for goodness sakes. So if you want to know more about it, just search for Beards for Band, Mustaches for Music.
Mm-hmm. Amazing group. Go check them out. And now this is our last, but certainly not least. Patrick Dawson sent us this right before the show started. We have London Bridge Beard and Mustache Contest. This is going to be in Arizona, Lake Havana City, Arizona. So, Havana. So this is an East Coast, West Coast deal. Good spread out, well planned out. So London Bridge Beard and Mustache Contest. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, so once again, like you said, October 23rd, a little bit of information. Judging will begin 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 300, it says, the general public is invited to come and cheer approximately 320 contestants competing in 16 different categories. It says only 20 contestants allowed to compete in each category. There's going to be music on stage. The public is invited to bring their lawn chairs, coolers for additional comfort. Local businesses are encouraged to sponsor. There's a bunch of information here. For more information on the event, categories, and rules, go to HavaSuMemorialWalkway.org and click on Beard and Mustache Contest at the top of the page.
Excellent. And last, but certainly not least, Part two. Natalie said I skipped one. We have the Rockabilly Q Beard and Mustache Competition. Don't forget about this one. It is in North Charleston, South Carolina, coming up November 13th. There's more and more information being available about this one as the days go by. We're going to have Beardsman of the Year for 2020-2021 announced. We'll have Holy City Beard and Mustache Society Member of the Year announced for 2020-2021. All kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff coming up with this one. But Best Represented Mob Club, because if you notice, it's a Holy City Beard and Mustache Society competition. South Carolina Beard Club, Beard Mob South Carolina, Talking Beards, presented by Honest Amish. So it's a group effort for this one. So everybody should, go support it because it's a good time. Fawn Hall says, yes, come to this one. It's a great one. So Talking Beards is putting on a little competition for this.
Wait,
and it's going on right now. And
who is sponsoring that again?
Honest Amish.
By some chance, if you go to honestamish.com and you use promo code.
Goofball. So with that being said, I know I said that a bunch tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know why I busted that one out. Yeah. So first 25 people to get registered for this event, you go over to the Facebook event page, look for Rockabilly Q Beard and Mustache Club Competition, and click on tickets. Find tickets, I think is the link. Click on it, opens up Eventbrite, fill it out. Make sure you click what category you're going to do. It is on there. I promise it's on there. It's at the bottom. But click it, get registered. Buying the ticket gets you registered. First 25, we're getting close to that number. I will do a random drawing for this apparently unreleased Honest Amish hat. I did not know it was unreleased when I grabbed it. But this will be released in October. So you get... hurry up and get to 25, and you can get this hat before it's released. So it'll be like a late or a fall Honest Amish release. But I'll put it in a box. I'll ship it to you, send it to you, whatever. I'll load the box down with soap, oil, whatever you want. Reach out, stickers, flyers. But this is the main thing here. This unreleased Honest Amish hat. And the quicker we get to that 25 number, the quicker you'll get your hat. So once we hit that 25 number, I'll go live on Talking Beards. I'll make a post. I'll schedule it somehow, and I'll do it like a number generator Google thing or something. I'll do it randomly, and out of the first 25 people that register, win a hat and a prize pack by Honest Amish. So everybody, go buy your tickets for Rockabilly Q and get registered to win this hat. We're getting close to that 25 number, so hurry up and get registered today. And that's it. We went over time. It's 9:05. I'm Aaron D. Johnston. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is a really informative episode. Lots of competitions. Everybody, get out and support your local competitions. That's the best thing we can do to keep the beer community together. And, you know, that's important. We need to keep the community together, even if COVID's kind of keeping us down. We can't kill the whole momentum of the community. Go support one another. Like I said, I'm Aaron D. Johnson. I will see you next Tuesday. Go ahead, Scott.
And I am Scott Sikora. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Scott Sikora. But real quick, though, we are running a poll over on our YouTube page now. But if whoever is in the chat right now with us, we want to know, with a hooded sweatshirt, which do you prefer, a zip up or a pullover?
Yeah,
right
so go
now
over
we
to
have
YouTube
zip
and click
ups
that
are
poll.
winning. What?
Go over and click that poll. Who's winning?
So, well, right now the zip up is winning by 75%. So if you have an opinion, put it in the chat right here right now. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube or wherever. So Darcy's going with zip up as well. But
I was just curious. It was a random question. That could be entering Beard's topic, Natalie.
Okay.
Zip up or pullover hoodies.
But like my really cool new Honest Amish pullover sweatshirt that Aaron got me. This thing is great. I love it. But I do like zip ups, but I like them both. So it doesn't really matter for me.
Brett says, so many people are wrong because Brett is a pullover hoodie kind of guy. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got to go because some people got jobs to go to. That's me.
Yeah, but
I have a job to go to.
Yeah,
I'm on my way, Brett.
Don't forget to go over to talkingbeards.com. Go subscribe to the podcast. And don't forget, if you're at honestamish.com, to use promo code talkingbeards. Aaron just pulled it up, but he won't put it back up for some odd reason.
Well, I thought you were going into honestamish.com and you went talkingbeards.com, so I pulled it away. Anyway, honestamish.com, promo code talkingbeards. Everybody have a great night. Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, we won't be as obnoxious with this all the time. Just this show, though.
Just tonight was, a special edition, but still, Talking Beards. Go ahead. I'll go back.
All right, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate every single one that watched the show tonight. And thank you, Greg Anderson, for showing up and being so handsome. And
thank you, Matt, for making our cool video, and Andrew for making our cool picture as usual. Thank you guys for all the hard work, for everybody that helps us out with the show. We appreciate it. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Talking Beards podcast. You can find out more information by going to talkingbeards.com. There you can subscribe to the podcast, make a donation to our show, or pick up some really cool Talking Beards merchandise. We hope to see you in the chat room. You can find us over at facebook.com/talkingbeards if you want to participate in our chat. Thank you again for checking the show out, and we hope you have a great week. Make sure you come back next week at 8 p.m. on Tuesday evening to watch the show live. Until next time, thanks.